All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. We are going to work on the 14-point listing presentation today. So I am a skill set coach. A lot of coaches in the real estate industry focus more on mindset than they do skill set, and I get it. Mindset is important, absolutely. And everybody's heard this before. 90% of success is mindset. Okay, I get that too. However, if you don't have the skill set necessary to go on a listing appointment and take the listing, the best mindset in the world isn't going to help you get that listing. So you've got to develop the skill set. And this became very obvious to me when I started my real estate career going on 24 years ago. It didn't take me very long to learn my listing presentation sucked. And in order for me to take more seller listings, I needed to have a great seller listing presentation. So I went on a personal mission to learn everything that I could about delivering great listing presentations. And what I teach in my 14-point listing presentation is what I learned and what I used as a real estate agent to take an average of over 10 seller listings every month for the next 13 years. So we're not going to start with point number one. We're going to skip ahead. And I want to start with you're on your way to the appointment. Okay. Now, if you're looking at the 14-point listing presentation, I think this is step 5. I don't know, but get on the listing channel. Now, what does get on the listing channel mean? It's all about mindset, which means as you're on your way to that meeting, make sure that everything around you is feeding a very positive mindset. Don't have the radio on. Don't listen to talk radio. Don't answer your phone. That incoming call could be bad news. I mean, David, if you got a call on the way to a listing appointment and you answer the phone and they said, hey, the closing we have tomorrow, it's got all kinds of hiccups. And if we don't get these fixed, it's not going to close. What's your mindset? How are you going into that listing appointment?
With other things on my mind and not the objective, right?
1,000%. 1,000%. So you got to get on the listing channel. I would also say, as far as this is concerned, the power of visualizing the result that you want is so important. See yourself walking in the door and just crushing it from the moment you walk in that front door. See yourself sitting at that kitchen table having an amazing conversation. See yourself asking them, "Are you ready to get started?" And hearing, "Yes, you're our agent. We're ready to go." So visualize the outcome before you go. All right, let's skip ahead. We are at the front door. This is called your Kodak moment. You have 10 seconds to make a great first impression. Number 1, park in the street. Don't park in the driveway. When you walk up to the front door, if your appointment is at 5 o'clock, you want to knock on the door at 5 o'clock. Not at 10 minutes till, not at 10 minutes after. Both of those are not on time. If my appointment is at 5, Kevin's meeting me at the front door. Knock, knock, knock. Hi, Kevin. John Dietz. We had an appointment at 5 p.m. and it's 5 p.m. May I come in? Now, if you've seen me give this lesson before, you've seen, hello, Kevin, John Dietz. We had an appointment for 5 p.m. and it's 5 p.m. May I come in? You've seen that 1,000 times. And does it look different or does it look the same every single time? It's the same. This is what we're doing here is we are building a franchise listing presentation so that you can literally take the playbook, learn this system, put it anywhere in the United States, and it's going to look the same everywhere you go. Now, the moment you walk in that front door, wow, Mary Ellen, you have a beautiful home. Debbie, I'm so excited to be here. Margaret, I am really looking forward to helping you ... sell your home. Listen to the embedded commands, everybody. Now, Shannon, the first thing that I would love to do is set my things down at the kitchen table. Why am I asking to set my things down at the kitchen table? Somebody give me the answer super quick.
So that's where you're at when you're done touring the home.
That's it, Joe. That's where you want to sit when you're done touring the home. You don't want to ask them, where would you like to sit? Because then they're going to take you anywhere in the house, including the living room on the couches, which is the worst situation you could be in, right, Karen? Because you're yelling across the room, hey, this is what I do. And then they're yelling back at you. It's ridiculous. You want to be at the kitchen table. And the best way to get there is, can I start by setting my things down at the kitchen table? Now, Jason, what I would love for you to do is take me on a tour of your home. I have a notebook in hand, everybody. I have a pen in hand. It's all that I have in my hands. And I'm going to ask Jason, as we tour your home, would you please point out everything you love about your home? And I'm going to take notes and ask lots of questions because this is the information I'm going to use to sell your home. Pay attention to the embedded commands, everybody. So I'd love for you to take me on a tour of your home. I'm going to ask lots of questions. I'll take lots of notes because this is the information I'm going to use to sell your home. Now, as I'm touring the home with Mary Ellen, I am enthusiastic. I am talking as I'm taking notes. Beautiful family room, hardwood floors, wood burning fireplace, vaulted ceilings. Wow, Russ, I love your kitchen. This is amazing. This is completely updated. What kind of countertops are these? What kind of cabinets are these? What's the flooring? I'm asking questions that a buyer is going to ask. Here's the other thing I want you to get. Like their home. So many sellers have said to me, John, so-and-so came and they looked at my house. They didn't even like it. Why would I hire them? Now, why would a seller, Tanisha, say that so-and-so didn't like my home? I'll tell you, because so-and-so came through the home and they started staging the property. They started talking about the things that seller needs to do in order to correct the property, in order to get it ready to put on the market. Wrong. It's not time to do that yet. When should you do this? After they hire you. Matter of fact, if they ask you, what do you think we should do in order to stage our home? My response immediately is, once you hire me, I will walk through your property with you and I will help you stage your property. Or if you bring in a professional stager, that's part of the service that you provide, then that's your answer. But not while you're touring the home, not even if it's something that they obviously need to do. Now, one of the most common questions I get at this part of the conversation is, John, what is their house? What if their house is, has a lot of things that need to be updated? No worries, got this too. So Joe, as we're touring your home today, I want you to point out everything you love about your home. And that's right, Lindsay, don't consult for free, 100%. Joe, I'd love for you to point out everything you love about your home and point out the things you would update next if you weren't selling. Okay, there it is. Now, what's going to happen? They're going to tell you the updates that needed to be made. Now, if the conversation goes like this, if they walk into the kitchen and they say, we're thinking about taking down the wallpaper and painting, and then they ask you, what do you think? Your response is 2 words. I would. That's it. I would. It's not, yeah, great idea. This wallpaper is ugly. I mean, what in the world were you? No, that's not liking their home. That's insulting them. They might like that purple fuzzy wallpaper. There you go, Debbie. They might like that purple fuzzy wallpaper. Just because you don't or nobody else does, they do. So don't insult them. All right, let's get to the kitchen table. This is begin the conversation. I want you to write down some words that you're going to carry into that appointment on a sheet of paper that's sitting right in front of you. Okay. The first word is gratitude. Thank you for meeting with me. It is always an honor and a privilege to meet with someone and discuss the possibility of representing them in the sale of their home. The next word I want you to write down is mission statement. I'd like to start, Margaret, by sharing my mission with you. My mission is to meet your goals and exceed your expectations. Now, because of that mission statement, whenever I meet with a potential homeowner, one of 3 things typically happens. One of those things will happen today. Either number 1, they understand and appreciate that. Okay, I want you to pay attention. I'm not directing this at them. Words matter. I'm not saying one of 3 things typically happens. One of those things will happen today. Either number 1, you'll understand and appreciate the benefits that I have to offer and you'll hire me. No, it's whenever I meet with a potential client, one of 3 things typically happen. Either number 1, they understand and appreciate the benefits that I have to offer and they hire me, which is awesome. Or they don't hire me, and quite honestly, that's not so awesome. And the third thing that occasionally happens is I may choose not to take the listing. All right, at that point, I want you to pause. Now, the reason you're pausing is you're giving them an opportunity to ask you, why would you not want my listing? Now, remember, everybody, to the seller, they think every real estate agent needs their listing. They think all of you are desperate. And you're showing them that you're not attached to the outcome. You're conveying, I care about you, you can trust me, and I can help you. Because if you took that listing under any condition, including the wrong price, Do you care about them? No. Can they trust you? No. Because why would a real estate agent take a listing at a price that is obviously the wrong price? The reason is the realtor still wins. There's a sign that's going to go in the yard. That sign's going to generate calls. Those calls are going to turn into buyers. Those buyers are going to turn into contracts and the agent gets paid. Meanwhile, the seller didn't sell. That's a win-lose. And the seller is the one who lost. So Karen, if a seller has a goal or an expectation that cannot be met, pay attention. It's not that I cannot meet. It's a goal or an expectation that cannot be met. I would rather turn the opportunity down today than let you down 6 months from now. Does that make sense? Now, what are they going to do? Say no? Of course, yes. Matter of fact, you're going to hear, I really like that. Now, you're transitioning to a needs analysis. So remember earlier I said I want you to write down some words. First word is gratitude. Second word is mission statement. Third is expectations. Fourth is needs analysis. So Jason, in order for me to know if I can meet your goals and exceed your expectations, I need to ask you a few questions. Would that be okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not so good and 10 being awesome, what needs to happen in the sale of your home for you to consider the experience a 10? And be quiet. It's time for them to talk. Now, you're probably going to hear, I need to get my price or some version of price or something to do with time. Two most common responses. What do I do when I hear I need to get my price? What's my response? You guys have the Rainmaker playbook. You know what the response is. I need to get my price. What do you say?
What would that do for you?
Oh, you're one step ahead.
Ooh, sorry.
What does this price look like to you?
Yes, Kevin, that's it right there. Okay, now Debbie, they respond with $750,000. Now what's the response?
What would that do for you?
There it is. Okay. Now, here's what it's not. It's not why 750. Why do you need $750,000? Listen to the difference between what would that do for you and why do you need $750,000? One is curiosity, the other one is judgmental. You guys get that? What would that do for you versus why is that important? Big difference, okay? So their answer is they need the money to pay off their mortgage and get a new home. Cool. If we could accomplish a second goal such that this would be a 10 plus experience, Karen, what else needs to happen? Now, let's just say Karen says, I need a quick sale. Guess what my response is? Anybody want to jump in here and tell me?
What does that look like for you?
Yes, Lindsay, good job. Yes. What does that look like? I need to have a quick sale. What does that look like? All right. So they respond with 30 days. Guess what the next response is?
What's important about 30 days?
Yes. Thank you, Joe Grant. What's important to you about 30 days? So this process is called going 7 deep. By the way, guys, if you can hear that ding sound, I apologize. That's my team, Debbie, who is on some crazy group text right now. Debbie's a part of that group text. That's why I said, Debbie, would you please tell the group to stop because it's interrupting Survive to Thrive. All right, back here we go. So somebody tell me where I was.
30 days. What's important to you about that?
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Seven levels.
The process is called, thank you for that. The process is called going deep. It's going deep. When you get a surface level response, you're snorkeling. You want to scuba dive, which means the real goal is not up here, it's down here. Pay attention, everybody. When that person says, I need a quick sale, and you ask, what does that look like? 30 days. What would 30 days do for you? That's going to get me to my new home in Tampa where I start a new job in April. Now we're down here. What's the goal? To be in Tampa by the beginning of April in order to start the new job. Not a quick sale. Not a quick sale. You guys get it? There's a big difference here. Now when we have a pricing conversation, logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. We're going to help them through consultation to make a much better decision when it comes to pricing based on being in Tampa by the 1st of April in order to start that new job versus having your property under contract within 30 days. There's no emotion to having your property under contract within 30 days. There's a ton of emotion Because what's the opposite? Well, what's plan B if your home isn't selling and you're not going to be in Tampa by the beginning of April in order to start that new job? What's plan B? Now we're having a powerful conversation.
Hey, John, Russell asked in a question. He says, "Isn't three the minimum of seven deep?" That's a good question. The answer is when you have a clear answer.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's the answer, because if they give you three different answers, then cool. Which one of those kind of comes floating to the top, right?
That's right.
That's the answer.
Thank you, Michael, for catching that. All right. So once we're clear on goal number 2, we're going to go right to if we can accomplish a third goal, by the way, if we can accomplish a fourth goal, and if we can accomplish a fifth goal. Most of the time, 3 is the top. 3 is the most goals you're going to get. By the way, for all the high D's on this call, this process is going to really test your patience. I'm a high D. Okay. So externally, I am dialed in and delivering at a high level. Internally, Lindsay, I am losing my mind. I'm like, come on. Let's go to the next step already. Okay. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to walk in the door and ask, do you want to sell your home? Yes. Do I look like the right agent for the job? Yes. Are you ready to get started? Yes. Cool. Mission accomplished. There is a part of me that wants to go on that listing presentation, but don't do it. Even if it's a friend or a family member, don't do it. If you went to the doctor, you would not want the doctor to say, glad you came in, jump on the table, I'm going to open you up and start operating. They need to ask you some questions. It's the same thing. All right, the next step is prioritizing those goals. If we can accomplish one of these goals, now, Mary Ellen, you gave me 3 goals. You said $750,000. I'm going to read it back to them. Okay, logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. Goal number 1 was $750,000. And that was important because you needed the money in order to pay off your mortgage and buy that new home in Tampa. Now, goal number 2, the second goal you gave me, not goal number 2, guys, because I'm prioritizing. That's a mistake. The second goal you gave me was to have the property under contract quickly. And that was important to you. You wanted 30 days in order to be in that new home in Tampa by the beginning of April to start your new job. And the third goal you gave me was finding an agent who would discount their fee. And that was important because you want to net the most amount of money. Now, if we could accomplish one of these goals and maybe barely miss the other 2, what's number 1? Wait for them to talk. Now, what do you think you're going to hear? Price. I need to get my price. Your response is, so if we got 750 or as close to 750 as possible, and Michael, you're not in that new home in Tampa by the beginning of April to start your new job, is that a 10?
I'm assuming you're talking to me, John, and I guess no, it's not a 10.
There you go. All right. So people are making a new decision based on new information. Now, the new decision here is 30 days is really my number 1 goal. Thank you for helping me realize that. You guys see how this works? It's magic when you understand how to do this.
Hey, John.
Talk to me.
Hey, question. So it looks like you're trying to isolate to like the one issue so you can drive in. So have you run across a situation where they won't isolate and they want both? And how do you navigate that?
Lindsay, you have to choose one or the other. When there's an offer on your home, you're going to have to choose one or the other.
Okay.
Now, my goal and my job as your agent is to get all 3 of these. And you're going to have to choose one. It's exactly how I'm going to respond. Okay. All right, guys, that's 9:27. So that's a wrap. Raise your hand. Talk to me. Questions, thoughts, ahas.
Hey, John, I just wanted to take a minute and welcome somebody who popped on the call this morning, Jared. Jared is here. I met him at my broker's open for my investment property, and we got to talk. And he told me he's a golf pro and goes to Christ Fellowship Church. I was like, cool. I got a really great spot for you to hang out. And he's newer to the business, so I was like, yeah, this is where you need to be. So he popped on today, and I'm really impressed because I see him taking notes feverishly. So I'm impressed by that.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, no, I appreciate, the intro, and I love real estate. It's something that's been in the back of my mind for a long time. And when I met Michael, I could see that, he was willing to pour into me, all the information that he possibly could in a very short period of time, just being at this broker's open. And, the reason I got into real estate was because I found a passion for real estate investing. And I was like, this is what I want my future to be. Like, what does that look like? Like, what do I need to do? Or how do I position myself to move forward with that? And it was like, okay, becoming a realtor, getting involved with deals, being involved with meeting investors like Michael. And, once I find out people are investors, I'm always so excited because I know their depth of understanding is kind of far superior to a lot of realtors, in my opinion, just because of, it's less about the money and it's more about the joy of the business. And I think it's it would be meat versus milk kind of thing, like you were saying. And thanks for the intro, Michael.
Welcome.
Thanks for being here, man.
Welcome to the group, Jared. Talk to me, Joe Grant.
Hey, yeah. So, current book I'm reading is called The Motivation Manifesto, and I threw it in chat, but it kind of tunes right in. My quote for today that I actually took out of it was 2 choices will amplify our motivation to another level: attitude and environment. This right here is the environment that we learn the skills to get better. But like John said, when you go to the door, it's the same thing every time, but it's not. If your energy's low and your attitude's in the garbage, you're going to come there and it's like, yeah, I'm Joe Grant. We had an appointment for 5 p.m. It's 5 p.m. Can I come in? Versus, hey, it's Joe Grant. We had an appointment for 5 p.m. It's 5 p.m. May I come in? Just the tone and attitude changes everything.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Joe Grant, as always, thank you for that. Always dropping knowledge on us. I love that. That's the whole idea behind franchising this conversation. When you get to the point where you've been on hundreds and hundreds of listing appointments, there's going to come a time when you're not excited about going to that front door. I promise you, it's just a job. You've got to flip the switch and you're on stage. Literally, when I say you're on stage, you're on stage. Time to go to work.
And I just went out and bought the 12-week year.
There you go, buddy. There you go.
John, I got a question for you real quick.
Fire away.
So last night I was sending an offer, my first offer as a representing a buyer. And basically, I send it over and we know there's multiple. And I'm calling him to talk through the deal and what the offer is. And basically, it's similar to this other offer that he considered a bad offer, but it's close, but it's better. So I could see that I'm losing him and he doesn't know if the seller's going to accept this, yada, yada. And then I guess my question to you would be, I lifted with energy and, I tried to divert the conversation to explaining who they are. It's a couple, they have 6 children. We know the neighborhood is peaceful. It's a great fit for them, near the brother-in-law. What are some other things? And then he lifted and was like, well, maybe this deal is going to go through. Like, that's great, Jared. Thank you. And what are some other ways that you can be creative when dealing maybe with the other agent, or when you send an offer that's maybe not exactly, or, might not get accepted, but could, sway the agent or the buyer in a way because the agent's going to present it in a way that makes it more appetizing to the seller?
Okay, so I've got it. Here's my answer. I would schedule a one-on-one coaching appointment with me, Jared. Michael has my email address. He has my phone number. Get that from here. I don't know if we have any members, anybody on the call today that is a member of a board of realtors or a member of NAR, because I'm not even sure, 100% sure if you're even allowed to do what you're doing. So I want to make sure that you're not getting yourself in trouble. I know that if you put it in writing, it's a big no-no. Okay. Verbally, I'm not sure. So I know that's probably not the answer you were looking for. Please don't be mad at me.
No, it's fine. That's okay.
What I will coach you on is the conversation with your buyer. So the conversation with the buyer is, we have multiple offers on this property. The seller is going to go with the highest and best offer. At what point are you willing to lose this home? And help your buyer make the very best offer they can make in order to get that property. Now, it's all not always about price. A lot of times, the terms of the agreement are going to be more important than the price. So, for example, I know in North Carolina, we have several agents here from North Carolina, they have due diligence period. And during that due diligence period, the buyer is putting down a sizable amount of money up front. If they don't close, the seller keeps that money. It's not like an escrow deposit, which is refundable if any part of the agreement isn't met, like an inspection period. In North Carolina, you're still losing that due diligence money. So one of the things a buyer's agent in North Carolina could do in order to get that property is offer more money up front, knowing that they've got more skin in the game and that seller gets to keep the money if for some reason the buyer doesn't close. So there's lots of terms that will make the difference as well, Jared. I know I went a totally different direction, but if you'll schedule a one-on-one time with me, I would love to chat with you more about this. Thank you for hanging in there with me, everybody. I hope you got great value today. Make it a great day. See everybody tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Go get them.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Good day, everyone.
If this helped, hit like and subscribe for practical real estate coaching with Coach John Dietz Coaching.